All right, Jason Voorhees has a new look. The entire Jason universe that was announced is starting to roll out, so we're going to talk about that. But first, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. All right, so sometime last year, it was announced that there was going to be this new Jason universe that would start to roll out, throughout this year and probably early next year. We didn't really know what that meant, but we're starting to see some of that roll out finally. And, they gave us the Jason Universe logo, which, I mean, I think it's kind of dumb. It almost feels very Marvel. Like it feels like a Marvel universe or DC universe. And I don't like where they're going with the Jason universe thing. It feels a little comic booky to me. I don't know if it really feels like horror when you look at the Jason universe logo. But I'm gonna keep an open mind because finally we have Crystal Lake starting to roll out. We've got the casting of Linda Cardellini, and we're getting some details about the show starting to come out, which I did a video on previously. You can go back and watch. But they did also announce that there would be new video games and new merchandise, and it looks like we're really gonna get a legit Friday the 13th rollout over the next year or so. That's going to be exciting for Friday the 13th fans. But with that said, I wanted to go into this bloody disgusting article where they talk about the new look of Jason Voorhees. So it says Jason Universe reveals new Jason Voorhees designed by makeup effects legend Greg Nicotero. So if you're familiar with Greg Nicotero, or if you're not, he did The Walking Dead and some of the most iconic horror movie makeup in history. So to have him working on Friday the 13th is really exciting. So they did roll out a 3D rendering of what he plans to do with the new Jason Voorhees. So if we take a look at the image here, I mean, it definitely looks really gritty, dirty, looks, in a way typical Jason. At the same time, definitely has an updated look. We haven't seen him like this. I do like it a lot better than what they did with the 2009 remake of Friday the 13th. Not to say that it was a bad movie. I did enjoy the movie. I just didn't really care for the overall look of Jason as far as like the clothing and the jacket and all this stuff. I don't know, but I do like this a lot better. What they did with the mask, what they did with the rugged clothing. This feels a lot more like Jason, the rusty knife. That looks really good. So obviously we don't have an actor playing Jason yet because they haven't announced if Jason Voorhees as an adult will even be in the new Crystal Lake series yet or in the first season at all. They haven't announced any movies or that they're working on any movies currently. So I don't know what this 3D rendering is actually for. Like, is this going to be Jason in the series, in the movie? Is this going to be Jason in a video game? What exactly are they going to do with this? So that is, it's yet to be seen. So going on to the article, it says, we strive to maintain Jason's original essence while continuing to move toward the future with a defined look and feel that takes Jason into his next chapter. We're also working with both familiar and fresh franchise voices to strike that balance. We gave Greg our new 13-hole mask and worked together on this full-body look that embodies classic Jason. He's strong, towering, and terrifying slasher with a machete, his weapon of choice. It's incredibly exciting to bring Jason Voorhees back into the lives of fans in such a bold and fresh way, adds Friday the 13th LLC Mark Tabaroff. We're thrilled to be working alongside Horror Inc. on this next chapter of the franchise and Jason's legacy, and we share in their passion. Together, we're making sure this return delivers everything longtime fans have been craving while opening the door for an entirely new generation. So skipping forward a little bit, it says, we're listening to fans and actively developing a slate under the Jason Universe banner that spans new movies, gaming, immersive experiences, collectibles, and more. Our film franchise is one of the most enduring horror properties in cinematic history, and we're actively reimagining what the next chapter and the slasher genre overall can become. So not to go into the entire article, but you kind of get the gist of what they're doing with this entire Jason universe that they're talking about. So like I said earlier, we're getting the games, we're getting collectibles, merchandise, and new movies, TV. So I'm glad to see that we finally have announcements on the TV show. I'm glad to see that we're getting 3D renderings of what Jason's going to look like, logos, masks. So we're getting a lot of information here, and I imagine it's going to keep rolling out now. It's going to start getting exciting over the next year for Friday the 13th fans. So with all that said, let me know in the comments, do you like the overall look of the new Jason Voorhees? Do you like the whole idea of the Jason universe? Because like I said, to me, it feels a little comic booky, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.